is yourself. When you find yourself adrift in the vast struggles of life, countless thoughts swirl around your mind. One notion that struck me profoundly was the realization that no one is coming to rescue you. You must be your savior if you wish to find fulfillment in life. Even when we consider various scenarios, this situation applies to many individuals who choose to ignore it, often resulting in feeling stuck or worse, wasting away consumed by bitterness and resentment. The great deceiver is ourselves, specifically our feelings of comfort and our delusions, alongside other factors that inevitably lead to procrastination. They whisper phrases like, "We have time," or "We can finish later," or "I'm too tired right now." Believing in these delusions during great challenging times leads us to falsely believe that everything is okay and that if we wait long enough, our problems will be solved or something positive will emerge from the situation. Reflecting on this realization, I couldn't help but acknowledge its undeniable truth. As the days unfold and I found myself immersed in a constant ebb and flow of life, I couldn't escape the persistent hope that somehow, someone or some opportunity would rescue me from the challenges surrounding me. It was an expectation built on the belief that waiting for the right chance would eventually lead to salvation or, at the very least, a helping hand to set me back on the right path. However, a stark realization started to dawn upon me that salvation or assistance wasn't going to magically materialize. The daunting truth was that at some point I had to confront a disappointment head on. To embark on such journey required a bold leap into the uncertain abyss of life, and acknowledgement that waiting passively was not a solution, but that was the easy foe. The true dragon that I must slay was anxiety. It was born from my fear of uncertainty and perfectionism, the feelings that whispered, "I can't do it." The faces of disappointment with saddled eyes became a formidable adversary that was an undefeatable foe of my creation, a complex machination of thoughts, depression, and pride. In these moments, the weight of disappointment pressed upon me like an unavoidable burden. Yet it was during these times of discomfort and pain that the urgency to move forward became evident. Life's lessons often reveal themselves through adversity, compelling us to acknowledge that, in the face of challenges, procrastination is a luxury we can no longer afford. Man is not worried by real problems so much by his imagined anxieties about real problems. By Epictetus, your effort. Effort is the key to achieving anything worthwhile. Reflecting on my many years spent as consuming various forms of media and countless videos across platforms like YouTube, Rumble, and BitChute, I've come to realize that many people are experiencing similar challenges. They're grappling with the impact of the economy, perceiving a lack of concern from both the government and corporate entities, while watching their circumstances worsen without being able to do anything. After the upheaval caused by COVID-19, which disrupted lives everywhere, financial and economic challenges grew notably more difficult. Many drew parallels to the financial crisis of 2009, with some even sounding warnings of an impending recession. These minor voices cautioned, "Beware, we are heading towards a downturn," criticizing governmental efforts as merely delaying the inevitable through continued spending and conflict. This perspective earned them the label of conspirators by some. On the other hand, the main media countered, asserting the strength of the economy and the abundance of new job opportunities, attributing any perceived lack of interest from the public to personal choice. However, despite hearing these conflicting narratives, personal observation painted a different picture. As individuals searched for employment in this purportedly robust economy, their eyes beheld a reality that contradicted these assertions, leaving their mind burdened with uncertainty, like beasts of burden with a load about what to believe. The reason I'm discussing no one's coming to save you is because even if someone were to come to your aid, it ultimately depends on your character. Are you comfortable with other people who are not your boss micromanaging you? Are you okay with feeling worthless? And I'm not talking about within a job, because once you enter the workforce, you acknowledge that you're working to fulfill someone else's vision, and that's the trade-off for earning a living. Whether you like it or not, it all boils down to you, your abilities, and the state of the economy. Your capacity to demonstrate your value, grow, connect, and adapt is crucial. As for the economy, if it's not in good shape, you may find yourself with limited options, either staying put or resigning to your fate, unless you're an expert in your field and the career still exists. Learning. Learn as much as you need to, then decide whether or not to leave or stay based on how you feel about it. But never forget to analyze your situation. What I'm getting at is that sometimes you don't realize how good of a situation you have until you're on the hot seat. And when the seat gets even hotter, you're now looking for answers. Furthermore, you might have people giving you advice, some good, some bad, and others try to direct you to a path thinking that they know what's best, ignoring the element that is you. Thus you end up feeling burnt out, upset, and trapped. They look at you, questioning why you aren't doing anything, assuming you're hopeless in your struggles. This pressure becomes more forceful and unbearable, making you more anxious and creating a vicious cycle. At that point, you're like, man, imagine being a person who, after graduating from school, is still living with their parents or roommates. And their parents or friends are asking why they can't just find something. You feel even more burnt out, hating yourself, and the cycle continues until you're once again in a situation where you're just depressed and sick, feeling as if you're sinking. And as you sink, you're like, what is the meaning of this life? Can't I do better? It's often there where you start searching for various options. I'm not just saying that you should be someone who jumps from one thing to another, chasing what you perceive as a realistic goal, which may or may not be until you are kicked out or stranded. But it is just that there are so many options that appears to be options, but may not be, with the chance of you getting burned or at least drained. Some of these options give so many optimistic promises, as sweet as honey. The opportunities that were available online, like the supposed boot camps, crit courses, and trading that promise you the world if you just follow their steps. They claim that you need to do this and that, or if you self-study enough, you can achieve anything with sufficient effort. They suggest that of other opportunities, if you have a striking feature or something noteworthy, would only require you to put yourself out there and perform. However, despite trying all these options, you find yourself still stuck in the same place, which only adds to your feeling of depression. What I'm trying to convey is that for things to improve, you have to take all that pain and all those negative feelings you're experiencing and use them as fuel to create a better future. Don't rely on anyone pushing you or telling you what to do. Take charge and do your research, even if you're feeling overwhelmed or sick of it all. Because let me tell you, when you finally catch a glimpse of that brief moment of relief, it will be worth all the struggle and effort you put in. Use those negative feelings for positive ones. Utilize your pain and negative feelings as fuel to grind you on your path to a better life. How much better? No one but you will know, as that depends on you. Take ownership is crucial, especially in your journey, because relying on others to dictate your path can often exacerbate your struggle and lead to feelings of self-loathing. When you feel like there's no way out, it's easy to spiral into a cycle of despair, where you lose hope in yourself and others around you may eventually lose hope in you too. That's why it's essential to approach life with a sense of agency, regardless of how bleak things may seem. Keep pushing forward, even when faced with challenges or doubts about your qualification. Remember, opportunities can arise unexpectedly, and it's often persistence and determination that can lead to breakthroughs. Don't let the fear of not being qualified hold you back. Instead, view each setback as an opportunity to learn and grow. Embrace the journey of self-discovery and continue striving for your goals, knowing that your effort will eventually pay off. And remember, your path in life is yours to navigate, so seize control and keep moving forward one step at a time. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Marcus Aurelius. To sacrifice or humbling oneself. I will share something with you all, something I remember hearing from an African immigrant who came here for the first time to start a new life in the USA. They said, it's essential not to overlook immediate job opportunities, even if they appear less prestigious regardless of your experience. It is simple when you need a new start or additional money. There's intrinsic value in every job, no matter how menial it may seem. Take on these roles, while initially frustrating, can provide invaluable experience and skill development that can shape your career trajectory in the long run. To put it frankly, a job is a job, and when you need money, it is welcome, as this job is not forever. I know, but for those who are struggling to even find those jobs due to the economic climate, don't lose hope, as the worst thing I ever did was letting those small failures fester and turn into big ones much later. In life, we must first learn to crawl, then stand, then walk, then run, and only then fly. We cannot fall into flying. Carve. Aim for freedom. From my perspective, true freedom comes from being self-sufficient and not having to rely on others for your livelihood. It's about transitioning from a state of dependency to one of independence, where you take ownership of your life and decisions. This transition is crucial for personal growth and development, fostering a sense of responsibility and maturity. For those who argue that the current job market is tough, I agree, but that shouldn't deter you from taking proactive steps towards your goals. Instead of aiming for immediate success, focus on setting realistic, long-term objectives and work steadily towards achieving them. This might involve gaining relevant skills, pursuing further education, or networking within your desired industry. It's essential not to rush into decisions without proper planning. Take the time to assess your strength, weakness, and aspirations, and develop a strategic roadmap for your career progression. While progress may be gradual and require patience, each step forward brings you closer to your ultimate goals. Never forget, there's many paths to certain goals as long as you keep them realistic and actionable. If not, it won't matter how desperate you are or how hard you work. If all you can do is crawl, start crawling. In closing, I encourage you to approach your journey with determination and resilience. Success rarely happens overnight, but with perseverance and dedication, you can overcome challenges and carve out a fulfilling career path. Wishing you all the best on your journey, and may you find solace and strength in your beliefs and convictions. Please like and subscribe. And thank you all for listening to The Only One Who Can Save You Is Yourself.